times he like broke up fights between the two stars, and I'm like, no one else is doing this. You got the rookie breaking up fights, but.
Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dell.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we catch up on iconic black media that we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood.
Alright, so this past week we've been watching The Game, Season 1. So, I guess we're going to kind of start off, as usual, things we liked.
Yeah. Well, we have to do the IMDb first.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. we're nervous because this is a little different than
this
doing...
This is our first TV show.
Yeah, our first TV show. But a spin-off of Girlfriends featuring a group of women who all have relationships with professional football players. Mm-hmm. I didn't know this was a spin-off of Girlfriends.
I didn't either. Have you seen Girlfriends?
No, I have the box set of it, though.
Oh, okay.
Because I get excited and I'm like, I'm going to watch it, and then I didn't. So
maybe that'll be the next video.
Maybe that'll be the next one. Who knows?
Alright, let's get into things we liked.
So like we said before, this is different because it's a TV show. So first off, we didn't watch it together. Mm-hmm. We had about a week or so to watch it, and then we only watched the first season. So we're just going off of the first season. So if you want to spoil things in a comment, I guess that's our bad because we haven't seen it up until now, but that's pretty much it. Things we liked. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I thought overall it was just like a fun concept to the show. Like they're all like dating or the mother of some football player.
Yeah.
And so I thought like that was just kind of good for driving a lot of the plot points. You know, like there was a lot of just moments where like they're in a locker room or like even the whole sunbeams concept. I loved every scene
my gosh.
with the sunbeams, like those meetings, just like. So like I think that was probably my favorite part, and I think it also led to like a lot of good jokes. So I really like the concept of it.
Speaking of the sunbeams, the sunbeam meeting for the girl who got dumped was hilarious. Because they were just like all meeting and it's like, okay, so do you have any money? Like, is your name on anything? And let's see what package we can get her, like based on this. Well, she doesn't go to all the meetings, so she can't get this good of a package. She doesn't put that much.
And at the end, it's like, you just paid for a flight ticket home.
Yeah,
that seems fair.
That seemed pretty fair.
I thought it was fair, but I thought that was funny too.
The sunbeams in general, I agree with you. I will say Tasha was my favorite character.
Okay.
And I realized that pretty early on.
Yeah.
And it was the scene where she flat out told her son he couldn't rap.
Oh, yeah,
This was like the first or second episode or something like that.
Yeah.
Where he was like, I think you need to take me seriously as a rapper. She was like, you can't rap. And I was like, yes!
And then she told her, she was like, spit something real quick. And then he like goes, I don't got it right now. She's like, okay. But,
Tasha was hilarious.
Yeah, I think my two favorite characters was a tie between Tasha and I really liked Jason Pitts. I really liked him because I just liked how cheap he was for like literally no reason. Like star receiver has all the money, like doesn't need to be cheap, but he was just ridiculously cheap for no reason. I thought that was funny.
I liked learning. Speaking of Jason, I liked learning about his and Kelly's relationship. I liked the arc that they went through in the first season, and I'm sure more happens to them because this is a 9-season show.
Yeah.
But she was Kelly was a fun character, and she was a lot more than meets the eye, is what I wrote. Because I think at the beginning she just seems kind of like the classic bubbly blonde, like dating a football player.
Yeah.
Kind of high strung because she's in charge of the sunbeams, and you're like, oh, she's nothing, and like. Also, like, sneaking up on her, when she was, like, it was the first season where she was checking out the room to see if he cheated, and just, like, the black light and everything comes out, and I was like, oh, Kelly can do something.
And I like when she goes to his room, and he's, like, surprised, like, I'm waiting for you. You do this every single time, like, this time it's for you. So I did like that moment, too.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's the next thing I had written down? So I had, like, there were two kind of, like, running jokes that I really just thought were hilarious. And they were kind of, like, the main jokes, but what's his name? Derwin being a rookie?
Yeah.
Like, all of the rookie jokes, the rookie hazing, I found it all hilarious. And then, them calling Melanie med school, I thought that was also funny. And, like, anytime they called her med school after she, like, said something dumb or, like, was, like, completely oblivious to the game, you know, so, I thought both those running jokes were just, like, really hilarious. Like, kept the show kind of, like, just funny, you know?
Yeah. I like that. And then, I liked the relationship between the three girls and also the three guys. I think they had pretty good relationships with each other. Like I said, we're just working on the first season, so
Yeah.
I'm sure things will change. But so far, I really like how, like, not competitive. They're kind of competitive, the girls, but, like, I like how they still have that camaraderie and sisterhood with them.
Yeah.
And the guys, they may, like, haze the rookie, but they still have his back and stuff like that. I really like that.
No, I like that too, especially with the 3 girls. I liked how they were all kind of still, like, doing their own thing, though.
Yeah.
You know, like, they would definitely be supportive, but, like, there were, like, some conversations where, like, they're, like, quick to be like, all right, fine, do what you want, you know? And so I did like that. I feel like that's kind of real, you know? Like, you're not always going to be sitting there for 3 hours trying to help them with their problem. You know, you say your piece, and then it's like, all right, let's...
Okay, whatever.
Do what you do with that information. So I did like that.
There's like a specific quote that I wrote down, which kind of has to do with that.
Yeah.
It was when both Kelly and when Kelly and Tasha both had a problem or something like that, and they went to Melanie. And they were like, "Girl, you know you're the last resort." She's like, "No one really wanted to talk to me," and they were like, "No, you're the last resort."
No, I like that too.
That was
they both
just a
show up in
funny
her house
line.
like, "Oh, I was looking for you. I was looking for you."
No one was looking for me.
Yeah.
That was a funny
That was a good one. I guess the kind of the final thing I had was I thought the show just like kind of flowed well. Like all the characters had like great chemistry on screen. The jokes felt very like quick and natural. Like they didn't feel like forced. Did this have a laugh track? I don't even remember. It wasn't abused. I think it did too, but I don't think it was abused. Either that or the jokes were actually funny.
Yeah, it was one or the other.
I genuinely laughed a lot watching this show. You know?
I did too. It was really funny. That's all I have for like everything I liked.
Okay. So I guess next we're kind of gonna get into like problematic things, things we didn't like, things we found like just you know. You want to start this one?
Sure. I said that they had homophobia light because it's that like classic 90s, 80s, early aughts gay panic type of thing. Where anytime any male had even like the slightest hint of sensitivity, it was like, oh, gay? Keep, like that kind of thing. So I didn't like that.
Like I saw that too. I thought kind of overall it just had a lot of that like 90s energy where you kind of like take things like homophobia, a lot of like there was a lot of slut shaming that went on too.
Yep.
So I noticed a lot of that. Also like kind of within all the relationships, it was definitely male dominated.
Yes.
You know, for the most part, like the women were like fairly submissive. You know.
Yeah.
Which I'll like talk about it a little bit more later. Once I get to like my rating, but I thought like there were times like in individual episodes where I felt like the women in the show did a good job of kind of like standing up for themselves, like talking back. But then it just felt like it reset like every episode. So
especially with Kelly and Jason.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yep, definitely.
I think the only other thing I have, but they kind of remedied it, I guess, was when I can't even remember his name because I didn't write it down. But the one of the guys when he was with that kind of bigger girl, Malik. There we go.
Yeah.
When Malik was with the kind of bigger girl at the end and was like hiding her away, they kind of remedied it, but you could still tell that was like a regular thing that people would have thought was fine.
Yeah.
So that.
Yeah. No, you can definitely tell that. It almost feels like a lot of the things we're talking about were like major plot points in these episodes.
Yeah.
You know? So that was a little just kind of odd to watch in like today's age.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, had we watched it back then, like we would have just laughed and like not had a second thought about it. But I guess kind of like going back, it is like, I don't know, a little problematic.
Yeah.
We don't really need to be putting this kind of energy out into the world kind of thing.
Like when she could fit his shoes or whatever.
Yeah,
I was like, dude.
I was like, that's not really like a problem.
Although when she was just in that dress and those shoes, I was like, girl, you'd be like hopping on
That's
Instagram
what I'm
right
saying.
now.
No, she did look good too, you know?
Good.
I'm hoping she's in the next season.
I liked her.
Yeah, no, I really did too.
And I think
really
they had a
liked her character,
reconciliation.
too. No, they did. Yeah, they
did.
ended up kissing on camera toward the end. So I did like that as well. Like, she definitely got her justice in the end.
Season 2, I hope we see
Yeah,
her.
hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Next, we're getting into ratings, right?
I guess it's time for ratings.
Ratings.
I guess I'll start.
Go ahead.
So I gave this one a 3.5. I did like it a lot. Again, like I said, it was really funny, and I think I liked the earlier part of the season a lot more than the latter part. I think my like major gripe with this show, and honestly with a lot of TV shows, like I tend to watch more movies than shows just in general, But this is kind of a gripe I have with all shows, but it almost seems like the characters tend to regress every episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's that reset that doesn't work when you're, like, binging a show.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you made so much progress last episode.
Yeah.
Why are we going through this again, you know? And so towards the end, like, not the plot, but just the relationship seemed to get a little stale.
Yeah.
I thought none of them should have been together. Like, like, Melanie and Derwin were probably the worst couple ever in my head. Like, it was just awful. Like,
I did like how they finished the cheating thing at the end of the season.
Oh, I was so happy when she
found out. I was like, thank the Lord.
With the song too, it was beautiful. I was so happy for Melanie when she got out of there. Like, I assume she's in the next season, so there's a part of me that knows they're gonna get back together, but I'm just so happy for her that she got out of there.
That she walked away after the music video.
Yeah, because, like, I was like, you're not gonna let this man sweet talk you again, you know, like, but
because that's what he did. Like earlier, he essentially gaslit her and was like, he was like gaslighting her the entire time. Was like, would I do that? Would I be able to look you in the eye? And I was like,
but also I'd say they both gaslighted each other pretty much throughout the season. You know, which is why they were such a bad couple. Like, just awful. I don't know how they got together. I don't know why they stayed together. Then at the end, like, she seemed so committed prior to finding out he, like, actually slept with her. But I was like, why are you so committed? Like,
I don't know what this.
He's done nothing except, like, just tell you
essentially lied for the
he told you he cheated. He didn't even tell you the full story. You were just like accepted
especially when they got engaged. Like, they didn't
so but I gave it a 3.5. I did like the show. Again, like, really funny. I love the concept. Just like, I didn't like any of the relationships really. Like, the mom-son relationship, wasn't a fan. The Pitts situation. Like,
I will say the mom and son, there were like hints where I liked it. Like when they were watching America's Next Top Model together.
Oh, yeah.
There were hints that I was like, I could get behind you guys.
Yeah, I think the one thing that saved a lot of the relationships for me is I genuinely liked most of the characters by themselves. As characters, you know, like, I liked Melanie's character. I liked Derwin's character, but together I did not like them too, you know? But when Derwin was with his boys and Melanie's with her girl, I liked them, you know? So,
that makes sense. I feel that a lot too.
So 3.5 for me. What'd you do?
I gave this a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
And sort of the same reason, but actually in the beginning I really enjoyed it, especially because I just like the dynamic of Melanie with the wives and like sunbeams and trying to figure out that whole thing and a bunch of the rules that she had to follow. I like that structure of like, oh, we have like essentially a fish out of water and we have to like train her. I love that structure. But after the wild card playoff game, the energy just kind of went a little wacky for me.
Maybe that's what it is.
Where we just didn't have the structure of like every week they're playing a football game and they kind of there was kind of that structure missing. And I know like football has an off season, so of course that was going to happen. But just that it just got wacky and like funky for me after that. And that was when we got a lot of the like really deep problems where the characters were just regressing every episode. Like Kelly and Jason, I wrote about the relationship that I thought they were really interesting because she frames it as perfect just because he's not cheating on her. But as we come to see through like their relationship, just because he's not cheating on you doesn't mean the relationship's good. So we got to see all the little cracks and divisions of the relationship and how him being so cheap was really like not good for her and how he didn't stand up for her with his family.
He also didn't help at all around the house.
Oh, like not even a little bit. Like,
oh my god.
Like, he tried toward the end, and, like, the little girl Brittany ended up in the hospital with, like, an allergic reaction.
Yeah, because he forgot what she was allergic to.
And I actually don't remember what happened after that to the relationship. I feel like it wasn't really discussed. She was kind of just in doing her own thing with Tasha Mack.
Yeah, because they were having that whole back and forth about her getting a job because he wanted another kid. But she was like, if we have another kid, it will literally just be me taking care of this child.
So I like how she took charge of that situation.
So, yeah. But just basically for me, it was like everything got a little funky, and I did like the show though. It was a good show, not like outstanding, the best thing ever, but it was very good, and I thought it was just light and easy and quick.
Yeah, no, I feel like it was a good background show. I feel like it's a good background show to have. Like, you can kind of tune in and just like catch a funny line, but still kind of know the whole.
And there were a lot of funny lines.
You know, I am glad you brought up the wild card thing because I didn't realize that. But, like, I noticed they, like, went away from the Sunbeam meetings. And, like, I love the Sunbeam meetings. And so I was, like, disappointed that they went away from it. But, like, I didn't like make the connection that the football season ended.
Yeah, so like they don't really have a reason to be doing it.
Yeah, like they really don't.
They tried to make that All-Star game a thing, but it kind of fizzled out. I guess I don't know, or maybe it's supposed to happen in the second season.
I don't know if they even because I think that was the party. Like in the end, it just seemed like they kept going to like parties and like.
And
I guess that's what football players do in the off season. So like that's cool, but I wanted to see more Sunbeams.
Yeah, because the Sunbeams were so. They were so funny.
Yeah, they were just, all the meetings were funny. I like the wine. I thought the wine was just hilarious.
Oh. I also really liked when Tasha got her boyfriend's friends together during that when they went to dinner.
All the white dude.
Yeah,
people? Yeah,
that was
funny.
I rewound that a couple of times just to hear it.
Yeah,
like,
that was a good scene
so
too.
funny. That was when I was happy I wasn't watching with you because I was like, I'm just gonna watch this for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Watch her get mad at them. Okay, and our last question is a little different than what we say for movies, which is, will you finish watching the rest of the series?
So for me, I said I'll give the second season a chance. Like I said, like, again, I liked it a lot in the beginning, but then once the football season ended, it kind of got a little stale. The relationships just felt very forced from, like, everyone's perspective.
It was almost like they needed football to stay together, which is kind of the opposite of what you think.
It really is.
It's very weird.
Really is.
I don't know.
So, yeah, so I said I'll give the second season a chance, but I think the second season will be on like a little shorter of a leash. And they're not gonna give me the same like characters regressing. We're not gonna just be gaslighting each other the whole time. You know, so I'll give the second season a chance and then go from there. But I would watch the next season. That I would do.
All right.
I also want to know if Melanie sticks to her guns, which I know she will not. But
yeah, I finished watching it before he did.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't wait till we film. I can't wait till we film because I finally want to find out what happened to that relationship.
Yeah, no, actually,
like, did she stick to her guns? Did she go back to him? Like, what happened? For me, I said I potentially could finish watching the rest of the series, but not right away. It would be one of those shows where I might pick it up a little bit, then like fall off, then watch it again a little bit, then not watch it for a bit. But it's not a very pressing thing for me to do. But I do definitely need to find out what happens to Melanie and Derwin.
Why did they get back together?
Yeah, that's the real question.
Like,
why
does
they
he
get back
just
together?
sweet talk her again, or does like something actually happen? But
yeah,
I think we both know the answer.
But yeah, that was the most devastating thing I had to do because I'm used to watching shows and just like watching through.
Yeah.
So it was devastating to finish season 1 and being like, I can't go through season 2. I gotta wait just so I can answer this question. Would I watch season 2?
Yeah.
Definitely season 2 sooner rather than later. But the rest, I don't actually know.
We'll see how season 2 goes for me.
We'll see how season 2.
I will say, like, just thinking ahead, I don't know if I'd ever watch all 9 seasons.
Oh!
Or, like, if I do that, it'll definitely be like, I'm watching an episode every couple of days kind of thing. Or, like, you know, or, like, maybe one weekend I'll watch a season, but, like, there's definitely no, like, pressing need for me to, like, sit down and be like, oh, I want to see this show.
This isn't a pressing show.
I'll give the second season a chance.
Yes. So, that was it on the game.
YouTube housekeeping. Like, comment, subscribe, follow.
Ring the bell. If you have any TV movie suggestions for us, you can leave them in the comments down below. We'll also have all of our social medias linked down below. And we'll see you next time to catch up.
All right.
Bye. It's not the game anymore.
Yeah, I really wanted the Sunbeam. Sunbeam were definitely my favorite.
That's what our demand is.
All of my
More
favorites.
Sunbeam.
More Sunbeam.
More Sunbeam.
More Sunbeam.